Okay, U.S. Mint, you want to hear from me? All right, no holds barred. Let's explore! For those of you who follow the United States Mint, you probably already know about what they are planning for the 250th anniversary of our country. One of the things is a coin that will be issued, or a selection of coins that are going to be picked by you. Presumably, I don't know when this survey ends, but there's feedback that we're going to provide, and we're going to do this survey together here and see what happens. It's saying the Mint is recognizing this historic event with a best of the Mints collection that reflects the rich numismatic history of the United States. This one-year series will include gold coins honoring historic designs that represent the best of America's coinage as determined by expert recommendations and public input. So there's an invitation to participate in selecting and ranking a list of 21 historic coin designs. By taking this brief survey, you can weigh in on what you consider to be the United States Mint's best coins. It's entirely voluntary. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's going to take 6 minutes of our time. Likely we'll take probably a little bit more because I'll explain some of these and why I am not choosing some as opposed to others. I believe we should just pick designs that have not been done in a long, long time. In other words, 2017 coins, it's not that long ago. I would never consider that coin to be rehashed yet again as another gold coin, and we'll get into that. So here we go. Without further ado, there we go. This is a list of 21 coins that was developed in consultation with the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee. And again, some of these I'm not sure why they did it, but anyways, the curator of the National Numismatic Collection at the Smithsonian Institution, after considering artistic merit, historical significance, and other factors. The coins span the Mint's history from its inception in 1792 to the award-winning 2017 American Liberty 24-karat gold coin, which that's one I would not choose because it's too recent. And I think it's still available to buy at the Mint's website, too, if I'm not mistaken. It will be presented, the feedback from the survey will be presented to the CCAC and the Commission of Fine Arts with recommendations from those committees. The secretary, the Treasury will select the final designs for the program. It all boils down to the Secretary of the Treasury, but we have at least some input, and we're going to go through it right now. The 1793 Liberty Cap cent. This is a pretty popular classic coin. The first of the earliest copper coins, the large copper cents of 1793 show Miss Liberty with a liberty cap, which is the ancient symbol of freedom, on a pole. The accompanying wreath design became a symbol that would remain on the reverse of the cent for over 100 years. Liberty in her cap would become a familiar icon with variations gracing numerous U.S. Mint coins. Now this coin's going to be in gold. An example they show here, you really can't see the details, but I think it's nice. I could see this as a gold coin, and I think it's the first one that would actually be utilized or struck by the United States Mint. So for that historic purpose, is one of the first for the establishment after the Mint Act of 1792. I think this was one of the first coins. I think it's called the strawberry cent, or maybe, I'm not sure. That coin or the other one, the strawberry cent's really worth a lot of money. But I'm going to say, based off the artistic design, I'd pull it back. It's not the most beautiful design, but it's pretty close. I would give it an 8. Because it says here, I'm going to go and move this to 8. How much would you like the United States Mint to reissue this design in recognition of America's 250th anniversary of the U.S.? I would say 8. All right, because of the history of it and the classic. Now, this is a beautiful coin, the 1856 Flying Eagle cent. Of course, they show a picture of one from 1857, but it's the design that we're looking at, not necessarily the date. In the 1850s, the price of copper was rising, so mint engraver James Longacre crafted a pattern in 1856 to show Congress what a new, smaller, cost savings 1 cent coin would look like. 2,000 to 3,000 proof examples were sold to collectors. Congress authorized a smaller cent in 1857, and Longacre's design circulated on the first small cent in 1857 and 58. This thing, I think, was the first flying eagle on a coin, and I like it. I think it's a great rendition, and I would love to see that on there for sure. I think this would probably be another one that I would probably classify right up there as an 8. All right, let's go to the next one. The 1916 Mercury dime. We know about the Mercury dime, and Adolf Lyman designed it. The obverse now we can see on the palladium coin and any of these types of things that have been already reissued in 2016 and in 2017. I'm a hard no on, so I'm going to put that down to 2 because it's already been reissued in modern renditions. All right. The 1909 Lincoln wheat cent. The 1909 Victor David Brenner introduced his portrait of Abraham Lincoln. It has been featured on American pennies, in quotes, because they're not pennies, they're technically cents ever since. And because of that, it is made today. You can find these coins anywhere and everywhere. Now, the wheat side you can't, but this portrait is the longest serving portrait on any U.S. coin in the history of the United States. Since 1909, we've had the same portrait. So I'm a hard no on that one. In fact, I'm going to go back to 1. Would not put that on there at all. No way, Jose. The 1836 Gobrecht silver dollar is a different story. It has the flying eagle there. The design was a radical departure for those of the United States. Coins up to that point, its Sea to Liberty obverse would grace American silver coins until 1891, over 50 years following its issuance. Even more radical was the departure on the reverse from the heraldic eagle of former times. The flying eagle, which we saw just earlier in the flying eagle cent, same design. Eagle ever rising amidst a constellation of stars of varying size, give a sense of depth, was ahead of its time. Just as important to the composition, inscriptions were restricted to the date of the obverse and denomination of the United States of America on the reverse. The dies for these coins were based on motifs by Thomsonian Titian Peel. Due to its small mintage, it retains a mystique among collectors to this day, but it is beautiful. And because of that, I'm going to put it up there at a 9 for me, because it's classic, it's rare, and it's beautiful. All right, there we go. Now, the 1792 half disme, very rare piece. These tiny but historically significant silver coins have direct connections to the founding fathers and the beginning of the Philadelphia Mint. They were the first coins minted and issued by the United States Mint. George Washington called for their production, and Thomas Jefferson distributed them, and they are indeed something else. Their historic knowledge of this, and the fact that they have this great tradition going back, means that they are a very high possibility. I'm going to put that in an 8, and it's not because of the design. It leaves a bit to be desired on the design, but its historic significance is profound, so it's pretty high up there for me. The 1999 George Washington commemorative gold $5 coin. For those of you familiar with my channel, you know how much I love this coin. It is beautiful. I love it. However, it's too new, too modern. This was based off of Laura Garden Fraser's outstanding design for the 1932 Washington quarter dollar. We now see this design on the modern quarter, so we're already seeing this side. I love that eagle on the reverse. It's my favorite eagle on any U.S. coin ever out there, including the Saint-gaudens. I love this heraldic eagle. It is beautiful. It is the best eagle design on a U.S. coin, in my opinion. With that being said, this thing is a small $5 gold coin. I don't think we need to see it again on a new rendition. However, I will say this: if it's going to be a 1 ounce gold coin, I would change my view. And if they are thinking about doing that, I would probably consider that. So therefore, and George Washington is considered the ultimate founding father, the first president, and the general in the Revolutionary War. So I'm going to have to move this up to a 7. That's the only time in a modern rendition of a coin that I would do that, and that's solely if they were to make it a 1 ounce piece. The Standing Liberty quarter dollar. Same thing. I love the design. In fact, in parts of me like it better than the Winged Liberty dime or the Mercury dime. It's nice, but you know what? It's been redone in 2016. Don't need to do it again. I'm going to put that one down as a 3. All right, let's move to the next one here. 2017 American Liberty High Relief $100 gold coin. Now, before I grade this one, you know what my grade's going to be. This design has actually grown on me. I actually like it more now. She doesn't look quite as angry. And aside from the obvious, implications that I talked about back during the day, I don't want to rehash all that. But essentially, this was the beginning of the wokeness that entered into the United States Mint. But nonetheless, I like the design. I have the coin now in my collection. Don't need to do it again. It's a hard pass for that. All right. Now, the 1849 $20 gold double eagle. This large volumes of gold from the California gold rush precipitated the introduction of the double eagle, America's first $20 gold coin. In March of 1849, legislation was passed and signed to authorize the striking of the coin to address the growing need. James B. Longacre's design was approved, and 2 pattern pieces struck bearing the 1849 date. Production of America's first double eagle commenced the following year. Of the 2 original pattern pieces, only one is known to remain, which rests securely in the Smithsonian's collection. Because of the historic significance of it as America's largest gold coin from the United States Mint, I'm going to rank this one fairly high. I'm going to say probably 8 on that one. All right, the 1804 silver dollar. This is a beautiful coin, and it has great historic significance. Entire books have been written about the historic rarity. One of the most legendary U.S. coins, the 1804 dollars, were actually minted up until 1834 for special diplomatic proof coin sets. And were sailed around the world and given to 2 rulers, the King of Siam and the Sultan of Oman. The rarity comes from the fact that only 8 are known to exist from the first strike and the first reverse die, and 7 exist from the second strike with the second reverse die. A beautiful coin, and it shows our standing in the world at the time. This one's going to be graded up very high, especially because of the cleavage on that one. So that's going to be a strong 8, maybe even 9. That's nice. Very nice. This is another very bold coin. That's a modern Liberty $5 gold coin. Chief engraver Elizabeth Jones crafted a remarkable up-close view of the Statue of Liberty and a majestic eagle in flight to celebrate the 100th anniversary of America's most famous symbol of freedom. It does have historic significance because of that. It's a bold representation of liberty. Design-wise, the obverse looks like it was designed by a different person. Completely no connection other than the eagle, on the back. It has really not. There's no continuity there. They look like the 2 sides of 2 different coins, honestly. But nonetheless, it's a modern coin. It can be bought for very cheap, and I'm going to have to go with a hard no on that one too. Maybe 2 on that one. It's just too modern and too easily obtained by somebody. The 1878 Morgan dollar, much as the same with the modern renditions of this. It's already been done. To have it in gold would be kind of cool in a way, but I would say probably it's going to be a hard no on that one too. Just too done too many times. Same thing with the Walking Liberty $50. We can already get that in gold in a half-ounce version. Really, no reason to do that one and rehash that one again. The 1792 Birch cent is a copper cent by mint engraver Robert Birch. Was a proposal for U.S. coinage after President George Washington rejected having his own portrait on the nation's coins, an idea he found to be too monarchical, and he's right. And now we've got his image all over the quarters and the dollar bill. He's turning in his grave. By the time the cent entered formal production, however, its weight and size had been reduced, and another artist was brought in to design the coin. Birch's copper cent shows a young woman with an inscription identifying liberty as the parent of science and industry, and on some pieces the legend to be esteemed to be useful. So there it is. Industry Liberty, parent of Industry Science and Industry Liberty, 1 cent. So there it is. Again, very historic piece. And since it was from 1792, and in connection with the founders, I have to give this a pretty high mark just for its historic significance. Not a big fan of the design, though. 1848, California Liberty had $2.50 coin. This is the diminutive gold coin, draws heritage directly from the gold fields of California. In 1848, a mere 1,389 quarter eagle gold coins were struck bearing the distinctive Cal marking on the reverse of Christian Gobrecht design. The gold for these coins were sent east to the military governor. Soon the gold rush would soon gain steam. 49ers, still not the biggest fan of putting that on there. That's really more numismatic, something that's really necessarily tied to the founding of the country. So I'm going to have to do that one as a 5. I'm relatively indifferent on that one. 1964 Kennedy $50 is done, still being produced each year in proof sets in silver as well, and they did a gold version. That's a hard pass on that one. They did a gold version in 2014. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel, much more of a numismatic piece than anything else, not really tied too much to the founding of the country. It does have a pretty nice design. So I'm going to probably have to say that this thing, I might do, maybe would consider it. Maybe put that up on a 6 just for the design aspects of it. The 1907 Saint-gaudens high relief $20 gold coin. A beautiful coin, but again, been done to the extreme, to the ultra in 2009. Those coins can be had for, they're a little bit pricey, but they're somewhat attainable. So are we going to go from ultra high relief to a 1907 high, or a 2026 high relief version? We've been there. We've done it. We did it, and I'd say we'd probably do that one at a 4. I'd say not really necessary. Peace dollar, by the way, this is somewhat high relief and nice coin, but again, already got those things, came out in 2021, and I just got the reverse proof sets. This thing as well, too, for the Constitution, 1987 constitutional dollar, a very common minted coin, and I would give a hard no on that one. Too modern. We don't need to rehash that. So we have now completed this. Thank you for your time completing the survey. Your response has been recorded, and so there we go. So it'll be very interesting to see what the results, if they will publish them. I'd be very curious to see. I might do a video showing that. If you want to participate, just head on over to the United States Mint's website. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. And now you know my reasons, and you know why and how and what the U.S. Mint heard from me. I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.